Straight ahead on 12 News, how eating healthy is big business for one local company. Then the high school reunion that was years in the making.
This is a fulfillment of a need that hadn't been addressed for a long, long time.
But first, the effort on local highways to keep you safer around trucks.
28% of the crashes involving commercial vehicles statewide last year occurred in Hennepin County.
12 News starts right now. Even professional drivers push the limits of the law, and the State Patrol is keeping an extra close eye on commercial trucks. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. As Renee Bonneau reports, troopers want to make sure they and the cars around them are on their best behavior.
State troopers have enough to think about when pulling over a regular car.
Do you know what the speed limit is out here today, sir?
For members of the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Team, their work is multiplied.
That's a pretty heavy load when you're talking about an 18-wheel semi. I mean, we want to make sure that their brakes are all working properly, they can stop appropriately, they're carrying the right credentials, the load that they're carrying is properly secured, anything like that.
This week, they're stepping up patrols as part of a nationwide effort with the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance.
With commercial vehicles, the vehicles are oftentimes quite a bit larger than a passenger car, so when they are involved in a crash, there's a lot more damage, more injuries, and unfortunately more fatalities.
Troopers will pull over commercial drivers for violations such as speeding, cell phone use, or lack of seatbelt use. They'll then check out the driver's paperwork and maybe do a vehicle inspection. Troopers aren't just targeting commercial vehicles. They'll stop anybody who's driving recklessly around a commercial vehicle.
We're always on the lookout for cars that are cutting off trucks, not giving them enough space, riding in their blind spots, driving aggressively around them.
The State Patrol hopes this blitz will remind everyone to be mindful on the road,
71 in the left lane there.
especially when a commercial vehicle is nearby. Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
Commercial drivers who are stopped for speeding or distracted driving pay the same fine that regular drivers do, but serious violations could affect someone's commercial driver's license status.
When people convicted of drunk driving are required to prove they're sober before they can actually start their car, very few are arrested again for drinking and driving. They blow into a device that's connected to their car's starter, as you can see in this demonstration. The car won't start if the driver blows an alcohol reading of .02 or above. Across Minnesota, the number of people who reoffend is less than 1%. Hennepin County officials say it helps DWI offenders continue to earn a living.
I think people look at this device as something that really helps them get go to work, take care of their families, drive again. And all the negatives, the embarrassment or the cost, etc., are sort of pale in comparison to the positives.
Bob Rogland also says that one-on-one counseling used in conjunction with the INTERLOCK device helps to cut the chance of repeat offenses.
A Sartell man was in court today to face charges of aggravated robbery and kidnapping. 34-year-old Douglas Gravel has been tied to 7 robberies and attempted robberies along the I-94 corridor over the past 6 weeks. That includes an armed holdup on Wednesday at a Burger King in Maple Grove. Police released surveillance video of that robbery last week, and after media outlets showed the pictures, a tip from Gravel's ex-wife led to his arrest. According to the criminal complaint, police found stolen electronics and clothing that matched the description from witnesses.
A new report says fire deaths have dropped even as the population continues to grow. The report from the State Fire Marshal's office says 50 people died in fires statewide last year. That's 6 fewer than the year before. And there was 1 death in the Northwest Metro. A 77-year-old Maple Grove woman died in an apartment fire last December. But the number of fires continues to grow. Those are up 12% over the year before.
What to do about Social Security may be one of the next Washington showdowns. Minnesota Congressman Keith Ellison made a pitch for Social Security benefits today in Golden Valley. Ellison spoke to a group at the Calvary Center. He cited a recent report on Social Security that says 327,000 Minnesota residents were able to avoid poverty in 2012 because of the benefits.
Social Security is an earned benefit. People pay into it. It's not just something someone gives you, it's because you work, or because your loved one did, or because you have a disability. And so Social Security works for Minnesota. Social Security is a great program. and it's something that, if anything at all, we need to strengthen.
Ellison is against a proposal to use something called a chained CPI to calculate inflation increases. He says that won't allow seniors to keep up with the rising medical costs. Coming up, in the business of weight loss, a New Hope-based franchise aims to get people eating healthy.
And later in sports, a great group of athletes is honored at the old Robbinsdale High School.
But first, a big chill is on the way. Your AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Each year, we spend billions of dollars on weight loss products.
It is a huge industry fueled by expanding waistlines. In today's Business Matters, we visit the kitchen of Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating in New Hope, where making nutritious meals is big business.
We're gonna go back.
Step inside the Seattle Sutton commercial kitchen.
We just started production about 5 o'clock this morning, and we're slowly ramping up.
And imagine what it would be like to cook for the masses.
Really, it's no different than what you're doing at your house, except that it's for about, several hundred customers.
21,000 fresh meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Fully prepared.
are made here in New Hope for about 1,000 Seattle Sutton customers
Our own private little recipe.
statewide.
Our program is really just food. We feed you, we make sure you're getting the right nutrition in the right portion size, and you will see results.
Started in Illinois by a registered nurse named Seattle Sutton, Stephanie and Jim Keegan brought the franchise to Minnesota
Half ounce. Okay.
12 years ago.
We started from the ground up, literally. We have 26 locations now in Minnesota.
We can control the freshness and the quality.
Each 1,200-calorie meal is made fresh here, packaged up, and delivered to stores where customers buy 1 week's worth of meals at about $6 a piece.
We have the vegetable fajita. It's a lunch. There's fresh zucchini in there, guacamole, Munster cheese, black beans, and a whole wheat tortilla.
While this multi-million-dollar business has grown, waistlines have shrunk.
Another one of my favorites is Jason up here. Jason lost almost 55 pounds in about 13 weeks.
Most customers buy the meals to lose weight. Others do it for health reasons or for sheer convenience. But the takeaway for all is learning how to eat healthy.
While we're cooking for them, they're learning, and it's sort of imprinting in their brain what they're going to be doing in the future.
Vegetarian and 2,000-calorie meals are also available, and the business is growing now through deliveries to outstate Minnesota and also western Wisconsin. Coming up, a weekend filled with memories.
And next in sports, Cooper hopes to carry its late season momentum into the football playoffs. John Jacobson has that and more in sports when we come back. John Jacobson joins us now with a look at sports, and actually you got a chance to rub elbows with some local high school all-stars from a few years ago. Can we say a couple years ago?
It was nice to be the young person in the crowd for once. I don't get that much here at work. But yeah, it was a fun evening on Friday. With some people that accomplished a lot in athletics and in life. Robbinsdale High School closed back in 1982. In athletics, the Robins won over 65 Lake Conference championships and several state titles in its 46 years. And Friday night at the old senior high, now Robbinsdale Middle School, a dozen former coaches and athletes were honored and inducted as the charter class of the Robbinsdale Athletic Hall of Fame, ranging from Vern Gagne from the class of 1943 to 1976 grads, Randy Sonnenfeld and Sidney Snedden, and the 10 athletes and families of the coaches had a chance to share their stories.
I'm honored, I'm humbled that I would be up here. When you move here at 6th grade, there are people 2, 3, 4, 5 years ahead of you, and you admire, and they're your heroes, and you've seen them athletically and how they carry themselves, and it seems like they should be up here instead of me. So thank you.
Eric Nelson will have more on the Robbinsdale All-Class reunion later in the program. Well, it is playoff time for local high school football teams. After quietly putting together a pretty solid regular season, Cooper jumps into playoff competition Tuesday night. The Hawks enter the playoffs with a 5-3 record. They've been moved up a class this fall to the second largest class, 5A. They're in a tough section, and the Hawks are the 5th seed. They like the progress a young team has made this fall, including 2 good wins to close out the regular season.
It helps us grow as a team since we all came together as a family in the second half, so both of those games. and put together a win.
Down 10-0 at halftime and really challenge these young kids to give us everything that they got and to be able to win 26-17. It just showed the character of this team and just really the whole season how we've progressed.
Cooper's section quarterfinal opponent is 4th seed Spring Lake Park, a team they lost to 41-20 about a month ago. The Hawks feel they're a better team now and have a chance to knock off the Panthers.
When we saw them earlier in the year, we were a little bit younger. We weren't quite as experienced. We just need to execute better. Just got to execute our game plan better and not let them get in our head.
And we've got an opportunity, just like they've got an opportunity, to break down and see what worked against us, what didn't work against us. For us, we get to see what didn't work and hopefully make some adjustments after watching film. And really, these kids are starting to take it personal. You just got beat by a team during the season. You don't want to get beat by them twice.
Cooper plays at Spring Lake Park Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. The winner meets top seed Mahtomedi Saturday afternoon. It's state tournament weekend soccer as quarterfinal games are played in both classes. On this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12, Jay Wilcox profiles twin brothers who've helped Prairie Seeds into the Class AA boys tournament. Here's a bit of what you'll see.
They've played together all the way up. Munir, who is 12 minutes older, is a high-scoring forward. Hafid, who is hoping a knee injury he aggravated in the section final won't keep him out of the state tournament, leads as a defender for the Lycans. Sharing the experience with a twin has been great.
It's really, really good because we've been playing together on the same club, of course, since we were like 10 years old. That's when we first started playing soccer. And to play on the same team as him and to watch him score all those goals for the past few years, it's fun to see. I'm always in the back, so I'm just basically watching and enjoying him play. We've been playing together since we were little. I mean, like, if it weren't for each other, like, we're the reason that we're able to grow so much. I mean, he's a defender, I'm a forward. We used to play all the time against each other when we were little, and that's how it helped us develop our skills. So, I mean, I'm proud to see him play. He's proud to see me play. It's a good thing because we've been together for so long. I mean, we understand the way we play.
Catch the rest of the story and much more this week on Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday on Channel 12. Well, more on the state soccer tournament. They'll play their first game, the Lycans, Thursday night at 7:30 up at Chisago Lakes.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. In Local Vote 2013, we continue to hear from candidates running for 3 positions on the WAYZATA School Board.
Today we'll hear from 3 of the 9 candidates who are in the running. They are Dan Haugen, Phil Napier, and Sarah Johansson.
Hello, I'm Sarah Johansson, and I want to be your top choice for WAYZATA School Board on Tuesday, November 5th. As a member of 8 district committees and chair of the Legislative Action Committee, I've proven that I have the skills and commitment to lead on the board. As the mom of 3 young students, I have a long-term investment in our district, and I'll bring an important parent voice to the board table. I'm active from the classroom to the boardroom, so I understand the opportunities and challenges that face our district, and I'm ready to get to work. Finally, as your board member, I'll be dedicated to collaboration, fiscal responsibility, and continuing the excellence that WAYZATA is known for. Find out more about me at votejohansson.com. I'm Sarah Johansson, and I ask for your vote on Tuesday, November 5th.
Hi, my name is Phil Napier, and I'm running for one of the open positions on the WAYZATA School Board. A number of people have asked me why I'm running, and the answer is simple. I have 2 little boys who are starting at WAYZATA in the near future, and I want to make sure that they and all of the other children in the district have every opportunity to receive a world-class education that fully prepares them for tomorrow, no matter what their tomorrow holds. With my background in IT, I'm especially interested in the opportunities that technology represents and how to most effectively implement those tools in the classroom to help the students and teachers. I'm also very interested in helping the district plan for the future, including the immense growth potential in the northern part of the district. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at phil4wsb@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Dan Haugen, a candidate for the WAYZATA School Board. You can learn more about me by visiting my website, danhaugen.org. I've served the needs of children and families for 40 years, since age 19 when I began mentoring younger teens. I've directed higher education and human service organizations for 25 years. I've taught college for 30 years, and I've published children's literature. As a volunteer, I've coached for 20 years and served many community organizations. I address issues with integrity in a budget-conscious, nonpartisan manner. Elected officials must be experienced and wise. The public's trust is sacred. I know I can contribute to WAYZATA schools. I am not seeking an office or a title, merely an opportunity to serve. Again, please visit danhaugen.org. I ask for your support on November 5th.
And tomorrow on 12 News, 2 more WAYZATA School Board candidates.
Still ahead, the all-school reunion that was years in the making.
We'll be right back in just a moment.
Over the weekend, there was a unique high school reunion.
Yeah, it was for students at a school that actually closed 31 years ago. Eric Nelson reports on a 3-day campus celebration that brought back a flood of memories.
The school is gone, but the spirit lives on. The old Robbinsdale High turned back the clock this past weekend with a blockbuster reunion. For one more time, proud alumni were rockin' Robins.
This is a fulfillment of a need that hadn't been addressed for a long, long time.
The 3-day event was a throwback party, complete with old knickknacks, the Robins mascot, cheerleaders, and a pep fest. It was a chance to look back on academic and athletic success.
Who has the 9 Lake Conference football trophies that we're not finding? We're offering an amnesty program.
Robbinsdale High opened in 1936 and closed down in 1982. In that span of time, over 22,000 students walked through these hallways. But when the doors closed for good, many of them lost their school identity.
All of a sudden you were homeless. You don't have a home. And Cooper didn't want us, and Armstrong didn't want us. And so you have, since '82, you had to have a bunch of people sort of roaming around.
Some 3,000 former Robins flocked back to their old school. One of them was Channel 12's John Jacobson, a 1979 graduate.
Wow.
They all reflected on some special snapshots in time.
Well, first of all, I made lifelong friendships. Robbinsdale was just one of the greatest times of my life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm no longer invisible. I'm no longer forgotten.
In Robbinsdale, Eric Nelson, 12 News.
No, the pep is still there. And I know, John, that they've been planning this for a couple of years. Everybody's happy with the outcome.
I think so, yeah. There were a lot of people that worked. I didn't come into it until this year. A lot of people started, like Mark Sorensen, almost 2 years ago, in planning it, and a lot of logistics, and everything seemed to come across well. But Howard was right. You kind of wander around schoolless for 31 years, like living schoolless zombies or something. But overall, it was a great event.
And cheerleaders remembered the
they
cheers,
were.
and
They
the
were
crowd
good.
remembered the
Yeah,
answers.
school
That's
song,
what I like.
yeah.
Thanks, John.
That's it for now. We'll see you here tomorrow.